Yeah. The trusted neighbor, choir master, that lesson teacher, Uncle Raymond, your trusted family friend. We all know those uncles. We all had one of them. He grappled at her. Hey, within these 30 seconds, someone, oh my God, let the girls breathe. Don't suffocate us. So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze Peperempe, and this is Neze Peperempe. Welcome back to the channel guys. Long time no posts, long time no story time, long time no sit down video. So guys, as you can see from the title and perhaps the thumbnail, today's video is a story time. And I'm not doing this story time just because I know you guys like story time. I am making the story time because it is important for me to make it. There's some things that happen to me, or there's some things that happen that I just tell myself that it will not be fair to others, it's not be fair to the universe, it's not be fair to myself, it's not be fair to the next person if I keep my experience to myself. Okay, because as I get older, I begin to realize that saying that how did they put it? Something like the older you get, the wiser you become. Yes, there's some people that are older that maybe they don't have sense. Sorry to use that language. There's some people that are older that do not have wisdom as is expected of someone of their age. But typically, on the average, the more you advance in person, the more you get more of life experiences that will shape in you and give you wisdom and equip you for tomorrow and put you in a position to teach others. More like experience is the best teacher, and the more you get older, the more you get more experiences. Right? So today's video is going to come with plenty of lessons. It happens to me. Everything I come here to tell you guys is true life experience, okay? And this one happened very recently, and it just gave me this perspective. It just put me in this place like, this is one of the mistakes that our parents made that left many girls of my age, older than me, slightly younger than me, you know, that generation, that millennial generation stroke before my generation, that left us with scars. When I say us, I don't mean like personally, I mean my group of people in that age category left us with scars. Okay, but let me not dwell so much on the preamble. Let me just go right into the story. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe icon, turn on your bell notifications, listen till the end. Plenty of lessons as always, and drop your feelings and feedback in the comment section. Let us start. So some months back, I came on here to tell you guys of the thief, the army robber that I brought into my house that stole my phone for 1 month and was using my phone with me in the same house while joining me to look for it every day. I gave you guys that gist, right? So when that girl left, that thief left, of course, I couldn't have kept her in my house for a very long time to start looking for another person. To find another help takes time. If you want to sieve well and bring someone that you'll really be okay with, it takes time. It can take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. My sister-in-law has even been looking for someone for like 6 months. So it takes time. I have a new baby. You guys know I have baby in a year. I have my 3 sons and I have resumed work. So getting someone fast to, you know, just stay with Neye, with my mother-in-law who is around, was very, very urgent. So when that thief left, when I sent the thief back home, a relation of mine, a distant relation, same villa, told me that, oh, I have a daughter, she has finished secondary school, please, I want her to just come and stay with you while she prepares for jams and, you know, just leave the village. There's a lot of hunger, you know. You guys know what's happening in Nigeria now. To eat 3 square meal, even those that are working and their husbands are working, you will know how your finances are this period. So a lot of people in the village cannot even survive. That's the truth. The hardship is much. So she was begging me, oh, I have a girl, she has finished secondary school, young girl, please let her just come out, stay with you, look around town. I know you take care of her instead of in the village roaming around. Before you know it, she'll get pregnant or start, you know, doing 1 or 2 things just to fend for herself or feed. Let her come to the city, stay with you and your children while she prepares for WAEC. I'm like, okay, fine. This baby girl came, beautiful girl, beautiful. When I first saw her, God, her nose was standing like Iroko tree. I was like, babe, you look like Genevieve Naji. Beautiful girl. So she came to my house. I loved her instantly. Who don't I love instantly? This is my lovey will put me in trouble one day. So I fell in love with her instantly. I liked her instantly. And I didn't say I trusted her instantly. Two things. After my last experience, I don't trust instantly, but I loved her instantly. She had a good spirit, right? So I accepted her in, opened my arms and my house to her. You guys know how I am. You guys know how I treat these my girls. So she was also very sweet to my baby. My baby fell in love with her. She would make her hair, play with her. They were just getting along fine, and I was happy. Even when eventually I started, trying to find somebody, and I told her, sweetheart, you'll soon go back. She was like, go where? Go where? We die here. I go nowhere. To send her away again, to tell her to go back to the village, became a problem. I was like, okay, stay. This is your house. These are your siblings. We're living as a family, one big happy family. And please, 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 I know the title of this video is I let a pedophile into my home, but please, you should pity me and those strong languages. If the languages are strong, I'll have to delete it because YouTube would flag the video as inappropriate. So be very mindful what you comment. If you want to say pedophile, you can just say P. Or if you want to, don't use any strong words that will make the video, banned by YouTube or get it into some community guideline bad side, right? Okay, so let me dive right into the story. When I was working at the bank, when I was a banker, there was this driver that we had. I won't mention his name. It's not like, in fact, I feel like mentioning his name. Not only mentioning his name, I feel like publishing his face. The way I feel right now, the way I feel, I want to publish his face because I can conceal any other thing, but you see a P, me and P's. I don't like seeing them. I don't like hearing of them. They disgust me. I feel like they're the most disgusting human beings on earth. But listen to the story. So there was this driver of mine at the bank. He worked at the bank with me very briefly, okay? I was his madam at the bank, right? So whenever my father comes visiting me in Port Harcourt, I usually don't like him to drive back to his base. My father is over 70. I remember back then when we were younger, my father used to drive us from Lagos to Villa, Imo State. One hand. Bana, old age has come, whether I like it or not. Sometimes I look at him, I'm like, oh my God, my father is getting older. My heart starts beating. I'm like, oh my God, look at my parents getting older. I don't know whether you guys have that feeling. If you do, drop in the comment section. So I look at my dad, I'm like, my dad is getting older. All these very long rides are not okay for him. He is above 70. He shouldn't be driving interstate. So when my father comes visiting me here in Port Harcourt and he wants to leave, I usually contact a driver, maybe a driver that I work with presently or a driver from the bank that I have worked with. I usually contact one of them, pay them to drive him back to his base. So my father came visiting me when I had my baby. Yes, I think that was when he came last, when I had Chinayenwa. So when he was leaving, I contacted this driver from the bank to come take my dad back to the villa. So a few hours after they left, this guy started sending me pictures on WhatsApp like, hey, auntie, I didn't know you're a princess. So started snapping selfie all over my house in the village. Hey, auntie, so you come from this kind of house. I didn't know you're a princess. So I'm like, okay, it's all right. That was the first step. I was like, thank you. That one passed. Before a few minutes, he now sent me a picture of himself in my house in the village with one of my father's cars at his back. He took a selfie and said, auntie, I was discussing with your father. I want to use your father's car to do boat business. You guys know boat. Boat is everywhere. Transport business, taxi business. I want to use your father's car to do boat business. And I have already discussed with him. Hey, God. Hey! I have already discussed with him. I say, let me tell you. I'm like, from where to where? What is the connection? Like, I don't understand. You are meeting my father for the first time. Your former madam, in quotes, told you to take her father somewhere. And you started engaging my father in business partnership, even before me. Telling my father that you want to take his car. Does he know you? Take his car to come and do boat business in Port Harcourt. As what? Does he know where you are from? Does he know who you are? I was very, very offended. My father didn't really take offense. Men, They say what an adult sees on the tree, a child cannot see it on the floor. But me, what a woman. Women are blessed with natural intuition. What a woman sees on the floor, when a man climbs a iroko tree, he will not see it. To my father, he didn't really see it as very offensive or as an insult. But for me, I picked offense at what he did. I felt he was going past his boundaries. I felt he was a man that does not respect or understand boundaries. I felt he had no right to start discussing business using my father's car. You don't even know what the car is for. You don't know whether it's my mother's car. You don't know who owns the car. You just came into my compound for the first time and you're engaging my father that you want to take his car to come and do bold business. So when he texted me that nonsense on WhatsApp, I didn't say a word. I just read it and ignored it. I called my father. I was like, Daddy, what kind of discussion did you have with this driver? My father was now telling me that, he was just telling him about bold business, how he'll be remitting this amount of money to him, how they should enter a partnership, he will use the car, be driving, and be remitting to my dad. I'm like, wonderful. I wasn't happy about it. He took my father's number. Hey, thank you very much. Now I remember. He wasn't even chatting me on WhatsApp to seek my opinion or my consent or whatever, or my input. He was chatting me to send my father's number. Hey God, that my father gave him. I'll drop the chat. I'll screenshot the chat. That my father gave him his number, but he has misplaced it. That should please send my father's number to him. That him and my father have business. Hey, God. Some people are senseless. Some people are senseless. A woman who used to drive at the bank as a driver invited me to come and take her father on a trip. You didn't even deem it fit to come and discuss with me. You started engaging my father in business conversation, took my father's number, and you're telling me that you send you my father's number that he will have unfinished business. So basically, I cancelled him. I told myself that I would never use him for any ride, because a man that does not have boundaries, such a man can rob somebody and believe it is his right. Such a man can do anything to you and believe that he is acting within his rights. After all, you are rich or you have money. There's a way they see people that drive cars and live in houses now. They'll say, oh, you have money. It's your job to help the poor. So that's mentality. I have been exposed enough to know what usually comes with those kind of people. So I told myself that never again, I'm never going to call this guy for anything. I told my father, in case he finds your number, Daddy, ignore him. My father said, of course, that he didn't have any intention of doing such a thing with him, but he was just listening to him as an elderly man now. He cannot tell him to shut up. He was just listening to him, served him drink. He was drinking in my father's parlor and discussing to use my father's ride. So I cut him off. But before I cut him off, the day that he was taking my father to the villa, my brother was in my house. So somehow, my brother also had his number. My brother relocated to River State too. My brother is in Port Harcourt now, right? So my brother works and my brother has a car. So when my brother goes to the office, the car is parked there from morning till evening. Not in use. As a young sharp Igbo man, he's like, okay, while I'm working, let this car fetch me income. I need a bold guy that can be driving this car while I'm at the office. I get my salary, I get money from business. Makes sense, right? He started looking for a driver. He's new in town. He has never been to River State. And before you know it, he started calling the same guy, even without me knowing. So they started getting deep into registering bolts and going to driver's license, the deal and all that. And I didn't know. It was later on, my brother told me that this guy that took Daddy to the village, that used to work with you at Access Bank, see what I've engaged him to do. And immediately I registered my displeasure. I told him, see, when as a banker, when we are giving loans, there's what they call the 6 C's of credit. Meaning the 6 C's you must consider before you give somebody loan. Most loans that fail or default are not because of people are incapable of paying the money back. Most times is a character flaw. I have borrowed money to people that have the ability, the capacity to pay, but refuse to pay because they have a flawed character. They don't believe in returning what they took. So in these 6 C's of credit, there is competence, there is collateral, there is character, there is credit history. There are about 6. But the number one that many banks rank first is character. Because if somebody is deficient or lacking in character, that loan would go bad. Because even if the business is booming, the person will rather owe you and be using the money to do other things. The person will not pay the bank loan back. The person would even start feeling, oh, after all this while, the bank has been taking COC. This is my turn for me to eat them. Human beings, fear them. After devil, fear human being. Oh. After devil, fear human beings. So I told my brother, this man has a serious character flaw. He doesn't understand the concept of boundaries. And anybody that does not understand the concept of boundaries is not a good person to have any business relationship with. That person will put you in trouble. My brother is like, oh, I don't know any other person now. Let me just manage him. I'll put an eye on him. I would cross check. I would monitor him. I will not give him chance. I'm like what more? It's all right. After all, he no kill, he no steal, but it's just an observation that I drew a bigger meaning to as someone that thinks far. No problem. He no steal, he no kill. No wahala. If you feel like you don't have any option, you want to use him, fine. So my brother began business with this man. How that business ended is a story for another day. It's not my own story to tell, but of course it ended in sorrow's prayers. It's ended in premium tears. But so what did they started the business. So there was this particular day, my car refused to start. I think the battery was down and I needed to run some errands. So I called my brother. I told him, I need your car. Are you around? Can you come pick me? I want to run some very urgent errands. Can you come pick me or can I use your car? He told me that the car is on the road, that the bolt guy is working with the car. So I'm like, this is very urgent. I need to go buy stuff, baby Naye's food and stuff. It's very urgent. He was like, oh, let me send the bolt guy to come pick you up. I was like, this man, no wahala now. Shade and me inside the car. No wahala. Let him come. So the guy came. He came and we went out. I, baby Naye, and this is my second sweetheart. This is my relation that is staying with me. So we all went out. I was holding baby at the back. Amaka was seated. We ran the errands, we went to the supermarket, we went to the gas station, we got fuel, there were so many things I needed to do that Saturday morning. So we did the whole errand. He was driving me around. Of course I was going to pay him because he's doing his work, right? He dropped me at home. I was at the back seat with baby Naye. I told my girl to go open the gates and start taking things in. I also bought this seaway water. I don't know, those people outside the country, do you drink seaway? We drink seaway here. So I got this seaway rubbers, seaway water. I'll leave the picture so you can see it. It's quite heavy, very, very heavy. And we usually buy much. I usually buy like up to 10. So I'll buy for a long time and I won't have to think of water again for a while. So I got like 10 and it was too much for this small baby, for this my baby girl to carry. So this driver, even before I could speak, he came down from the car and started bringing things out and going in, while my girl started carrying the provisions I bought going in. The sewer water does not stay inside my house, it stays by the stairs, right? So of course I knew that he was not going to enter my house. He was just going to drop it by the staircase while my girl is going in to drop the provisions in the kitchen. I was with baby waiting for him to drop it so he can come back, we can negotiate, I'll pay him and go up. The mistakes of our parents. Oh, the mistakes of our forefathers. May we never make the same mistakes that our parents made. Say amen. Say amen, somebody in the comment section. May we never make the same mistakes that our parents made that left so many girls sexually devastated, sexually ruined. The trusted neighbor, choir master, that lesson teacher, Uncle Raymond, your trusted family friend. We all know those uncles. We all had one of them that our parents trusted so much. May we never bring in an animal into our home. Hallelujah, somebody. So this Nikompu was carrying the water. I was just by the stair. I was just by the entrance. I was in the car. He parked right in front of the house. I was there. Split seconds. It would take nothing less than 2 minutes for him to drop the water and come back so I can pay him. As I was there, my girl just ran to me crying, shouting, crying. Like, mommy, we want to call this brother. Oh, she was speaking it in Igbo language, my local dialect, my local language. We want to call this brother. Oh, as I was climbing the stairs, this brother, he did them. Let me speak it in English. So she came lamenting to me that I should warn that brother. She was even calling him brother. Children with home training, because some people, once they do this kind of thing, any brother, any uncle, any respect flies off the window. You call them by their name, or you call them that idiot. So she was telling me that I should warn that man, that brother, that as she was climbing the stairs to go drop the things in the kitchen, and he was coming down, he grappled at her. Hey, within these 30 seconds, someone, oh my God, let the girls breathe. Don't suffocate us. You have that responsibility. Let the girls breathe. Don't suffocate us. You have that responsibility.
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
When will girls breathe in Nigeria? When will young girls breathe? I'm sure that if my subscribers start telling their story in the comment section, growing up, Uncle Raymond, Uncle Okweoluwa, you know them. If we start telling the story in the comment section, this story no go end. It will not end though. Let the young girls breathe. Young men, let us breathe. It's not our fault. That within 2 seconds of you being alone with a child, you have grabbed her, despite her mother is just 2 feet away from you. In my home, you grabbed my sister to sexually molest her. What were you planning? You don't even know whether the girl is a good girl. You don't know whether she's my younger sister. You don't know whether she's going to buy your acts. She has never given you red lights before. You are just meeting her for the first time in your life that morning. And the only thing he could think of when he was alone with that girl for 10 seconds was to grapple at her. So if the girl cooperated, was his plan that right there on my step, they will just have one quickie? Or maybe he would tell her, meet me under the coconut tree, under the mango tree by 7 p.m. this night. Tell your auntie you want to go and buy something. Or what was his plan? Or is it, I don't understand what he intended doing with that child within such a short space of time. The nerve. This is not in your compound, your face me, I face you house. You are in your madam's house and you have the guts to grab her child. See, oh my God. Some men are animals. Oh. Mothers, are you hearing me? Some men are animals. Oh. If you are still leaving your child alone with male lesson teacher on the dining table, if you are still leaving your help, your cousin with carpenter, let me go out to the market and keep an eye on this carpenter alone. After all, the market is just 10 minutes away. A lot can happen in 1 minute. There's some men that don't think about consequences. When it has to do with matters of Dixon, they don't think about consequences right there and right then. They're like, anything will won't happen, make it happen. Right now, I have to satisfy this urge, even if it's with goats. This guy was not thinking of all the consequences that could come. But let me continue. Let me not put the cart before the horse. So when my daughter came, screaming and crying to me, that this uncle just grabbed her and wanted to start forcing himself on her, I said, okay, it's all right. I gave her the baby. Hold the baby. See, I can tolerate a lot of things, but there's some things that I don't tolerate. That's why my boss in the office calls me Minister of Women Affairs. There's some things that it pains me, really. It's even better you steal from me or do me 1 or 2 things, but you see, molesting children or being a predator. If it was in my position as a lawmaker, let me not use my mouth to talk the one that will pass me. But such people don't even deserve to have private parts to even start with. So I told her to hold my baby. I gave her the baby. By then I was already pissed off. You know, people that smile and laugh a lot, when they get angry, it can be something else. I was really very pissed off. One is that this idiot is under the employment of my brother. He was jobless, begging for a ride. So my family gave you a job. 2, I was your madam in the bank. Even if you don't have self-respect, respect me. You can't come to my house and abuse my child. So when he came, I called him. I said, come, are you married? He said, no, ma, I'm not married. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 30 something. I can't remember, because what I was asking, I was not even asking to. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 30 something. I was like, how old is this girl? He said, I don't know. The kind of hot slap, I landed him first. I gave him a slap that he would not forget in his life in a long time. He said, madam, what happened? I said, you have the effrontery, the impetus, the nerve to come into my home and start touching my baby. He was like, he wanted to deny it. CCTV. Neze will continue preaching about CCTV until you learn, until you listen, until you buy. Hallelujah. As he wanted to deny, I just pointed up. Of course, I have CCTV, not only in my house, but I have one of the cameras outside in the car park. I'm looking at it here. See my car. I'm watching. I have one of the CCTVs in the car park. I have one of the CCTVs in the stairs where that incident happened. So when I told him that the house is fully covered on CCTV, and I'm going to watch it now, and I'm going to forward the video to the barracks, to the army barracks, to my relation. Of course, I don't get any relation with the army, but I quickly claim one colonel when we exist. I say I'm going to send the clip to Colonel Okafor, my uncle at the army barracks in Bori camp in Port Harcourt. The man just there, it was as if cold water just poured on him. He knew that he had been nabbed. He didn't know I have CCTV. If not CCTV, this man would have denied it again. And it would have been her word against his. There was nothing, apart from the CCTV though, there was nothing in this world that will make a child of 13 or 14 years or 15 years, how old is she, just come out and sexually accuse a stranger. This is not America where they used to pay women that come out to talk about this thing now. He's not a sports athlete. She had nothing to gain or lose. She can't just come out and throw this kind of damaging accusations when it didn't happen. But what further strengthened her point was that there was a CCTV, and I told him that I was going to watch it. I pointed the camera. He looked up. He saw a CCTV outside, because I confronted him outside right there by the car. Let me not go into details of what I did, but trust me, I didn't take it lightly. He was dealt with thoroughly. Such a guy is a threat. He was dealt with very thoroughly. Let me spare my words, because this is a public forum. And tomorrow when I run as the first female president of Nigeria, let me leave it at that. Hallelujah. But he was dealt with terribly. And not only that, the car was taken back from him. He was calling me, apologizing. Auntie, I'm sorry. I'm like, go to hell and never come back. I didn't even answer him. You can imagine. So just imagine that this guy was left alone with this child. Mommies, are you listening? Grandmas, are you listening? Shine your eye, open your ear and listen to me. You send your daughter, you are selling food, you send your daughter to go and deliver food to one uncle. Uncle wants beans and plantain. You send your teenage daughter, your 12-year-old girl, because uncle goes to church, uncle looks responsible, uncle wears suit on Monday morning. You send your girl to go and deliver food to somebody's house, a young man's house. In your house, you leave your female child with electrician, plumber, carpenter, driver, lesson teacher. A good percentage of these men are animals. A good percentage. If this guy could try this thing when he knows that I was just around the corner, I could come in and walk in on them. But he didn't. He did it anyway. He didn't bother. Despite he knew that if this girl reported, he would lose his source of living. It still didn't matter to him. All that mattered to him was he wanted to go down on that child. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. Can you imagine that? So this story came as a very big lesson to me, because right now I will not for 1 second leave my girl with any man without my supervision. I won't. Because I was thinking that it is just less than 40 seconds. Just carry the distance and put it on by the stairs. While my girl is in the kitchen bringing out the provision, I didn't know that this guy would go out of his way to go for the girl. So my dear brothers and sisters, listen, this world that we live in is very wicked. It's not everybody that has 2 eyes and 2 legs that are human beings walking around with you. You think say that human being. You no go know say na monster we wear t-shirts, they waka. Treat everybody as a monster. Shigina. It's better to be predisposed than suspicious. It's better to be a hawk. And it's proven that, oh, you are being, over suspicious. It's better than for you to be under suspicious and get a child's life ruined. Another thing that helped me is the kind of relationship and friendship I had with that child. Many of us have experienced this kind of thing growing up, but we didn't have the courage, the balls, we didn't have the effrontery to tell our mothers because we didn't know how they will react. We didn't know whether they will believe us, we didn't know whether they will blame us, we didn't know whether they will beat us. So we kept it to ourselves until it turns to a full-blown abuse. Ladies, am I speaking? Can you feel me? But this child was so confident to come to me because me and her were like this. When I say I'm close to these girls, don't get me wrong, girl. When they fuck up, I usually clear them. I would shout at you like a crazy person. I will correct you, I will scold you, but I will love you. I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back. They're my children, they're my daughters. As long as you're under my roof, you're my child. The kind of closeness I have with this child, we go out together, we walk out together because Chidinma, oh my God, she does not like walking out. So it's me and this other my baby that we walk out together. So we have this relationship. We gist, we play. She knows that I'm her mommy. She respects me. She has the boundary. But I also bring her close as my child. We discuss everything. During our prayer session, we pray every night. That prayer session is not just, pray and go. We also talk about other extracurricular, extramoral activities. I'll tell them about my experiences as a young girl, how they should comport themselves. I teach them mannerism. I teach them confidence. I teach them so many things. Sex education. So that's why that child was very free to come to me to talk about that kind of thing. There's some women that will be very nasty to that girl that she wouldn't want to open up to tell me about such a thing. And I would have been bringing a predator to my home. Every time I had need to use a ride or use a boat, I would have been bringing that predator into my home until something spoiled. But at the first attempt, this child came to me and exposed the man. Mummies, how are you raising your daughters? And when I say daughters, I don't mean your biological children alone. I mean your helps, your cousins, the people that live with you. Are you being overtly strict, or are you giving them a level playing ground where they can have a relationship and relate with you as a human being? Very important. So this child felt no guilt, no blame, no shame, nothing. She was comfortable to tell me. And I defended her. And she saw it and she loved me for it. And she's more confident that if something like this happens again, mommy will defend her. Mommy will not blame her. I even got her a gift for opening up to me. I encouraged her. I taught her how to handle such things. I hailed her for the way she resisted him because she had to fight and struggle out of his grip and ran to me. I told her you did the right thing. Next time, scream as you're doing it. So that is it. That is the life we find ourselves in. Pedos everywhere. Lunatics and perverts everywhere. How well are you protecting your child? Are you teaching them about sex? Are you telling them what to do when they find themselves in precarious situations? Are you being liberal with some conversations? Are you being accessible and relatable with these children, including your helps? We all have a part to play and a role to execute. Please do it well. This is my story. What is yours? Have you had any of such experiences, personally or with people that have lived with you or with people that you know? Please share in the comment section so we all can listen and learn. Otito, I have finished. I have finished. It is well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us on today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on your bell notifications, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments, feedback, ideas, and all of that in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. I do hope you also enjoyed this story time. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up once again. Okay, it's me, your girl Barrister Neze Nwa Neze Peperempe, and this is Neze Peperempe. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye. Mwah.